Hi y'all! Hope y'all are doing well. So I promised y'all I was going to give you an update on my reading TN, so here it is. This is a current book that I'm reading, and I'm also reading this one. So yeah, if that interests you, stick around. These may not look a lot, but to me, they mean something. The reason I don't do how many books in a year or do those type of challenges is because they're not a number to me. They are a door to learning, adventure, and I want to enjoy them while I read them. So real quick, this is the book that I'm reading now, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. And so far it's a good read. I enjoy it. Sorry, when I stacked these books, they weren't in any particular order, but this is the book that I finished prior before starting this one. So this is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and this is probably the third attempt when I finally finished it, because I kept losing my place. I have to say, I know it's one of the top maybe 50 books of all time or something like that, and a lot of big book fan groups or what have you, and it's been published in articles and things like that. I'm sorry, I didn't really enjoy it. It was a little morbid, and I think that's the reason why I hesitated to finish it very quickly, because it wasn't my cup of tea. I did want to read it though, just to, I try to give it the benefit of the doubt and see, okay, what is all the hype about? I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's still a good read. I laughed in a lot of parts, especially when Kathy, the daughter of Catherine, when she was younger and going through her teenage years and all that. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I sometimes read multiple books. So right now, these are the two books that I'm reading. This one is The War That Ended Peace by Margaret Macmillan. And I've had this book for a while, actually maybe like a couple of years, and the way that I read is I have 4 books at a time going on because I don't want to get bored with what I'm reading. So I'm on page 389. I like history. I'm like a big history buff. Maybe not as huge as some, but I actually prefer world history. I absolutely love different cultures and things like that. So it's nonfiction. I do enjoy different genres. So I enjoy world history, cultural books. I also read what some consider self-help books. So, like for instance, these type of books. This book, Getting Things Done by David Allen. A lot of people in the journaling and planning community absolutely love this book, and I'm not too keen on it. And I may link the video where I discuss the difference between these two books and why I prefer this one. They're actually similar in what they want to accomplish in terms of being more productive. This, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This is also something that the planning community references sometimes. I know that there's like some sort of 7 steps or something like, I can't remember, but I didn't even know that it existed in the planner community, that there are like planner inserts that base it off of his 7 habits. I think it's called 7 habits. Anyway, I probably had this book since 2003. I have read this book, I don't know, countless times. I would say over 10 times I've read this book, and I still reference it to this day. This is actually books that I have read within the last 7 months when I did my setup of this TN. I may set my camera up top view so that you can see what's in here, but the reason why I had it on this view is because I wanted y'all to see, all of the books. But hold on, let me, 1 second. So before I put this book together, or I set it up, I actually had this book, which is my art journal. Now I draw in and put my collections of like washi tape, stamps, things like that. If you're interested in this cover, and the setup itself, I will link the setup of this book. So this is the Emma Chic Sparrow in the A6 and the Austin leather. And I'll show you here in a minute because this is actually just the cover right now. I did a switch out of the cover, and I had decided that I wanted to do some annotations and just, you know, discuss the books that I'm reading. So it became an art/literature journal, but it didn't work out. Let me show you why. Hold on. So this is now my art journal, and this is now my reading TN because I decided I wanted it separate, but let me show you why. So this is the Hobonichi cover, and I just have a Pilot G2.5 pen in here. But this is a plain Hobonichi notebook insert in the A6. This is what I have in it. So I have all kinds of decor, and I just do my creative process in here in terms of art. I had a section, okay, here it is. I had a section for my books that I'm reading. Well, I started to write a lot, and so it was taking up a lot of the pages of my, oh, there goes a bookmark. A lot of the pages for what I was writing out, and so I decided that I didn't want it in here any longer, so I wanted more room just specifically for my reading. So this is what occurred. Now, I didn't transfer all of what I wrote in here. I don't do backlogging or back planning or anything like that, and I'm going to do a video, which I mentioned before in the past, about why I don't do that. I don't think it's important in my life. I want to move forward, and so that's why I don't. But anyway, that's for another video. I'm going to focus on this topic here regarding my reading. Alright, let me put this back. Let me actually go to my notes because I had some notes what I wanted to discuss. So if y'all want to see my brain dump commonplace book, I'm still in my B6, which I absolutely love. This is in the meteorite leather. It's also by Chic Sparrow. So let me go to the page. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention is the whole thing about the number of books. Like, you know, people want to read 25 books a year, 50 books a year, 100 books a year. And what I've noticed is that some individuals, they'll read like these really teeny tiny books in order to reach their goal, but I find it senseless really to read something you're really not interested in order to get to the number that you're trying to reach. And this is the reason why I don't do book challenges like that. My challenge to myself is that I want to read more. So at one point there was nothing I was interested in reading, and so there was a time frame for months where I wasn't reading anything because I just wasn't interested in a particular story. Okay, so I think I covered pretty much what I wanted to cover, and then we'll go to the top view so you can see the inside of this wonderful TN. So this is the Traveler's Notebook by Traveler's Company. You can see all the dings a little bit better this way. It's just gorgeous. And y'all already know the standard size of the Traveler's Company. I absolutely love it. I'm not really fond of the passport size. I have one passport. Let me open this up. I did not do anything. Well, hold on. Let me change the lighting. Okay, so I didn't alter this plastic zip pouch. I said I wanted to fuse this to make it 2 smaller pockets. I haven't done that, and I don't know if I will, because y'all know I don't really like altering my stuff. I like it in its original condition, but I don't know, I may still do it. I just haven't made the time to do it. Oh, so my son was reading Les Miserables, and so I kept my page number. That's another book also that I'm reading. I may start it from the very beginning because it's been a while, but I wanted to keep my page number. Okay, and these memo notes that I have, sometimes I'll stick them in the sections where I'm still going to be writing about what I've read. Now, this is probably the only extent of backfilling that I do. So there's 2 of them. These 2 I haven't put in my reading TN yet. So I have this page right here, and also something that I don't normally do, which is number my pages. And the reason why I had to do that is because the section where I'm writing about, okay, this book right here, oh, there's the example that I was telling you about, like this. So while I'm reading, every once in a while I want to write in my book about what I'm reading, and so I'll put like what page number, and then I wrote in the TN. So this one is, I write the title, The War That Ended Peace by Margaret Macmillan. So the reason why I ended up numbering it is specifically for this particular book because it is very detailed, and so I had to like skip because I had already written about Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and so because of that I had to number the pages so that I can continue on with this book right here. That's the only purpose, really. And here's the last book that I just read, Wuthering Heights, and I painted this. This is loose sheets of Tomoe River paper that I'd cut up, and this is actually a book that I put together. So this is just cardstock, and I use my gel pens to draw on here. And y'all know that I always put a verse in front of every book insert that I have. So anyhow, I do a little bit of drawing sometimes, and I collage. Here's another watercolor painting. I'm not very good at it because I actually stopped doing art for a very long time. I'm just now coming back to using paper again. I was a digital planner and journaler for 18 years, so I didn't use any type of paper, and so I stopped doing my art around that time as well. Well, maybe I actually stopped doing art for a longer period, I believe. If you want to know more about that journey, I'll link that video, which I talk about the journey that I've had. Kind of tells you the period of when I stopped doing art. So I'm kind of rusty, actually. So let me see, what else? Oh, here you go. I just sewed this with wax thread. And this is a elastic from the Travelers Company, like an extender. Okay, this is emerald. Let's see, what else do I want to show you? Oh, here's the Great Expectations. This is the book I'm reading now. I don't know if I'm going to write in it again. Hold on. So I'm on page 125. I don't know if I'm going to write in it again. Actually, I keep this at my desk at my office. I don't normally read at home. I usually just read, like I said, for leisure, about maybe 15-30 minutes a day. When I had my spout of not reading for several months because I wasn't interested in a specific book, I decided that I wanted to, to read more, get back into reading. So I started out with reading at my desk for like 5 minutes, and then I increased it to 10 minutes, and then I increased it to 15 minutes, and then it's just been kind of going like that. There are times when, yes, I would read for an hour, but that's how I got back to enjoying to read. So for those who have that goal to read more because maybe you fell out of reading, or you just lost that love or that spark, I would say that's one way to do it, is to just do it little at a time. That's actually how I ended up reading the whole Bible. So hold on. So this is the Bible that I read front to back the very first time. It's a Precious Moments Bible. You can get it at Barnes & Noble. It's the New King James Version. So I read this for the very first time front to back, and I did not write down my experience, which I kind of wish that I had that recorded, my first experience of reading it, because the second time I read it front to back was so different. So this is the reason why I added this this book, this Moleskine, and it basically has, you know, all the different books that I was reading, what the dates were, what I thought about what I read, and what that particular book was about, or sections or verses. So I'm so glad. I only used a few pages of it, though. I didn't use the whole book. Maybe like a third of it, I think. Maybe a little over a third. But I'm so glad that I did this. Like, I love it. And that's not the last time I'm going to read it front to back. I want to do it again. And so, yeah, I might actually use the same notebook in order to write again, because it really it changed the second time I read it. The first time I read it, I kind of just wanted to know what Jesus was about, because I didn't really know him. And so the second time I read it, it's more about like what he wants of me, like how to live my life and things like that. So I say, you know, give yourself 5 minutes to read the Bible, and then, you know, the next day do the same thing, 5 minutes. And I noticed that after doing that, I started to read longer periods. You know, 5 minutes turned into 10, and then it turned to 15 minutes and 30 minutes, and sometimes I would, you know, read for an hour. But there are sometimes I reverted back to 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, because I just simply, you know, didn't make the time, because maybe my morning was a little bit crazy, or my evening, or what have you. Okay, let me get my brain dump again, because I gotta reference what I wanted to cover. Hold on. Oh, speed reading. Okay, a lot of creators mention they speed read through a book in order to get to their 100 books goal of the year, something like that. I want to savor my books. Sure, you know, there are certain sections that you want to speed read on, but I really prefer to sit and slowly read. I want to enjoy my books. Let me know in the comments what you like to do. Do you like to speed read? Do you like to slowly read? What do you like to do? Creators that mention when they speed read, they do forget what they've read. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to forget. When I reread a book, it's not because I forgot what it's about. I remember what it's about, and so I want to reread it again. You know, like rewatching a movie. It's kind of the same thing. This is a blotting sheet, because I do use my fountain pens on here, because the Tomoe River paper, that's good with the fountain pens. And then the MD, this is MD paper, the special edition Travelers Company leather covers, they give you an insert, and it's usually the MD paper. MD paper is very good for fountain pens as well. Did I paint in any of these? I know I painted in my Goals TN, I believe. Not sure if I painted in my reading TN. Okay, anyway, so yeah, this is a blotting sheet for my fountain pens. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it in terms of what I wanted to cover. But yeah, so for the most part, oh, here it is. I did some watercolors And again, this is Tomoe River paper. It's the older one, not the Shenzhen, because I bought this paper a long time ago at my local paper shop. And this is not really a tracker. I don't really do trackers. I think I'm going to change that title to something else, but it's all lined, and I did some watercolor on it to write down. Maybe I'll put this as my to be read, like what I want to read list. I don't know. Let me see here. Yeah, so here's the other one, the getting things done, and I did some watercolor on here. But the reason why I didn't do the self-help books is because it's pretty easy to, you know, go back and write about it. But, so those are the two that I'm going to be backfilling. And that's really the only extent of backfilling that I do. Okay. So that's this book. It is mainly, like I said, annotations. This insert, it just has some scrap paper, decorative paper. Ooh, what's this? I need to tear that off and throw it away. So some decorative paper and some stickers in here. Paper doilies. Yep. So then I've got some magnetic clips if I want to save a spot in a section, or if I want to attach something. And then I just decorated with Tim Holtz ephemera and some decorative paper. And then this insert, I added some pictures of when I went to Kyoto. So my daughter was there for college, study abroad, and my mom and I met up with her, and we really enjoyed ourselves. Kyoto is such a beautiful area. If you ever get a chance to go to Japan, I would highly recommend going to this area. It's like really traditional. There's a lot of like historic buildings, those kind of things, historic homes. It's beautiful. So there's a section in here where I do my star ratings, and basically I just write the title, author, my rating, what genre, how many pages in the total book, the description of what I felt, one word. And this is Emma. Yeah, I did not like that book. I gave it 2.5 stars. I'm sorry. If you really enjoyed this book, I'm really, really sorry. I love Jane Austen books. You know, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility. My favorite story of all time is Sense and Sensibility. That's like my favorite. I know a lot of people would choose Pride and Prejudice, but anyway, I wrote excruciating. And it took me forever to read this book because I was kind of flipping to different books because I didn't enjoy it. So it was between January to June of 2024. So my initial response, like, you know, a more detail of this statement right here, or this word right here, is more detailed. And then, you know, would I recommend it? Absolutely no. So is it rereadable? Like, is it something I'm going to read again? I may, you know, maybe I'll get a different perspective the second time I read it. I don't know. And then the style of the author, I just, you know, put a little description there. The plot and structure. And then I took a picture of the actual book I have. I used my Canon IB printer to do that. I know a lot of people print it from Google Images and stuff like that. You know how I feel about that, people who have been watching me for a really long time. I don't like taking images from online because there's, you know, issues with that. You're really not supposed to do that. But anyway, so yeah. Oh, I have to go back. Yeah, I guess that's the backfilling too, which is not a big deal. I will do that. I guess maybe the backfilling part that I don't do is my planning and journaling. Maybe that's what I should say. Because with my journaling, I don't really care to go back to a week prior and then remember like what happened. Like, and then my calendar, the reason why I don't backfill those is because it's already happened. Like I use it for purposes of planning for the future. I guess to me that's what planning is all about. You plan for the future. So I don't backfill my calendar. Let's see. And then, so I just put a specific quote that I find is interesting in a book that I'm reading. And I think that's it. Yeah. So it's just quotes right here, and then star rating right here. And then this section, I'm going to put more pictures of Kyoto in here. Yep, here's the first page of the pictures and stuff. Oh, and here's the Traveler's Company store. Here's the front scripture that I wrote in here. Yeah, so that's basically it. Oh, let me show you, actually, hold on. This is like an outline of something that I was referencing, you know, as far as like star rating, like just suggestions on, you know, how to create a book that for your annotations and star rating. So these are just some notes that I took. I cut out some graph paper. Oh, here's a bookmark that I made. Let's see what else on here. Let me put this back first. And more of the, so these are like, I write the characters down, like who they are. Just some scratch paper about this story. What is this? Oh, Wuthering Heights. So that's scrap paper for Wuthering Heights. Oops, let me put that. Okay, and then this scrap paper was from, I think this is Emma. Yep, this is from Emma. And then back here on the zip pouch, I have washi tape on a card. And then I have the brass tag. Oh, and this came on the package when the Traveler's Company store, they packaged it up so beautifully. I wanted to do an unboxing, but I wanted to keep it to myself, so I ended up not recording it. It was, oh, I loved, there are just some things I think that as content creators we keep to ourselves, and that's okay. So I don't have to show you every unboxing. There's really not a whole lot of unboxings on my channel, just a few. And I have a paper clip and a leather tab. This is the paperwork that was in it. And some ephemera, flower ephemera from Tim Holtz. So yeah, that's that. And then I have the same pen, the Uniball Micro 207 Plus. And I really like this pen. It's nice. I keep it, it writes really nicely on the Tomoe River paper. Oh, look. And that's Kyoto charm. And then I have a cross on the bookmark. That bookmark is attached to the TN itself. So the overhang isn't that bad with the standard size as opposed to the passport size. And because I have a lot of writing room, I usually only keep 2 book inserts in here, as opposed to the passport size that is so small that I like a lot of writing space, so I keep a lot of books. Yeah, I don't really like it. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me trim this out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subbed already, please consider doing it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I will continue to update y'all with my journals, my planners, my handbags, my finance goals and things like that. I will continue to post as long as y'all continue to come. I will hopefully see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.